The sun rose slowly over the savannah, spilling waves of gold across the endless grasslands. Birds called from the acacia trees, zebras grazed in the distance, and the morning breeze carried the scent of dry earth and wildflowers. It was another ordinary day in the heart of Africa, a land both breathtaking and brutal. Deep in this wilderness, a young lion cub, no older than a month, was stumbling through the tall grass beside its mother. The cub's curious eyes gleamed with life as it batted at insects and chased shadows. The lioness, graceful and strong, watched carefully, letting her cub explore but never straying too far. Not far behind, the father, a magnificent lion with a mane as dark as storm clouds, trailed the pair, his golden eyes scanning the horizon. Together they were part of a small pride, protectors of their territory, rulers of their corner of the wild. But on this morning, the cub's curiosity led it toward danger. A few hundred meters away lay a dried-up watering hole. The recent rains had turned the ground around it into thick, sticky mud, a deadly trap for any animal unlucky enough to step into it. The cub, chasing a small butterfly, didn't see the danger until its tiny paw sank into the soft ground. It tried to back away, but with every movement, the earth sucked it deeper. Within seconds, the cub was chest deep in mud, squealing in panic. Its cries tore through the air. The lioness's head snapped up. She recognized that sound instantly, the cry of her cub in danger. She bolted through the grass, heart pounding, and in seconds reached the edge of the pit. There, her baby was sinking fast, its eyes wide with terror, its small body trembling. The mother roared, her cry echoing for miles. She stepped forward, but the ground gave way beneath her paws, forcing her to back off. One more step and she would be trapped too. Her mate arrived moments later, his mane bristling, his muscles tense. He let out a deep, booming growl that shook the air, pacing back and forth along the edge. But even he knew there was nothing he could do. One wrong move and both of them could die. For long, desperate minutes, the lions circled the pit, calling out to their cub, powerless to help. Then, fate intervened. A wildlife ranger named Daniel Mwangi was making his morning patrol through the reserve. Daniel had worked these lands for over a decade, protecting animals from poachers, rescuing those in danger, and helping keep the delicate balance of life alive. As he drove his jeep along a dusty track, a distant roar made him stop. It wasn't the usual call of territory or warning. This roar was filled with panic. He turned his vehicle toward the sound and sped off, bouncing over uneven ground, dust rising behind him. As he neared the scene, he could see movement, two lions pacing furiously around a small muddy clearing. Daniel's training told him to keep his distance. Approaching adult lions with a cub nearby was one of the most dangerous things any human could do. But then he saw it, the tiny cub, half buried in the mud, crying weakly. His instincts kicked in. He knew he couldn't just stand by. Daniel parked the jeep a few meters away, leaving the engine running in case he needed to retreat. He grabbed only a long coil of rope and stepped out, eyes locked on the lions ahead. The male growled, standing protectively in front of the lioness and their trapped cub. The air was thick with tension. Daniel could feel the power in their gaze, but behind it he saw fear and a plea for help. Raising his hands, he spoke softly, "Easy, girl. I'm going to help your baby, okay?" The lioness growled low but didn't move. That was enough. Daniel crouched near the edge of the muddy pit, where the cub struggled weakly. His heart pounded, but his hands were steady. He tied a loop at the end of the rope and tossed it toward the cub. The first try missed. He tried again, murmuring softly. The second time, the rope slipped around the cub's leg. "Got you," Daniel whispered. He tightened the loop gently and began to pull. The mud clung stubbornly, but he dug in his heels and hauled harder. Bit by bit, the cub came free, sliding through the muck until it tumbled onto solid ground, shivering and slick with mud. Daniel backed away quickly, dropping the rope. The lioness rushed forward, scooping her cub up in her jaws and licking it clean. The male lion approached, towering and silent. For a long, breathless moment, he stared at Daniel. Then he gave a deep rumble, soft, resonant, almost like thanks, and turned to follow his family into the tall grass. Daniel stood there, trembling but smiling. He'd looked into the eyes of the wild and found understanding. 2 years had passed since that day on the savannah. The memory of the lions still lived in Daniel's mind. The cub's cry, the mother's eyes, the moment the wild had trusted him. He'd gone on with his work as a ranger, but that day had changed something deep inside him. One hot afternoon, the sun blazed over the golden plains as Daniel drove back to camp. The air shimmered with heat, and dust trailed behind the jeep. He noticed fresh tire tracks cutting across the dirt road, not from any ranger's vehicle. Poachers. Daniel stopped and stepped out, scanning the open land. The scent of dry grass filled the air. He crouched down, studying the tracks, when suddenly a voice called from behind him. "Don't move." Daniel froze, 3 men stepped out from behind a nearby tree. Their leader was tall, rough-looking, with a scar running across his cheek. He smiled coldly in the bright sunlight. "Well, look who it is. The ranger who thinks he owns the place." Daniel stood slowly, hands raised. "You're trespassing in a reserve. Leave now." The scarred man laughed. "We remember you. 2 years ago, you ruined one of our hunts. You cost us a lot of money." Before Daniel could answer, one of them hit him hard in the stomach with a rifle. He fell to the ground, gasping. They dragged him toward a thick acacia tree and tied his hands and chest tight with rope. "Let's see if your lion friends come save you this time," the scarred man sneered. The men laughed, climbed back into their truck, and drove off, leaving a trail of dust behind them. Daniel struggled against the rope, the coarse fibers digging into his wrists. The sun beat down mercilessly, sweat stinging his eyes. He twisted and pulled, but it was no use. Then he heard it, a deep, powerful rumble echoing across the open grassland. He froze, blinking through the sunlight. Out of the tall grass, a massive lion emerged. Its golden mane shimmered under the blazing sun, its eyes bright and steady. Daniel's breath caught in his throat. He knew that face. It was the lion he had saved 2 years ago. The great beast walked closer, muscles rippling beneath its tawny fur. It sniffed the air, then the rope, its breath hot against Daniel's arms. Without warning, the lion bit down and yanked hard. The rope snapped clean. Daniel stumbled free, rubbing his wrists, staring in disbelief. You remember me," he whispered. The lion stood still, watching him silently. Then it turned its head toward the direction the poachers had gone and let out a deep, thunderous roar that rolled across the savannah. Birds scattered from the trees. Daniel stood there in the sunlight, smiling faintly, his chest rising and falling with relief and awe. "Guess we're even now," he murmured. The lion looked back once more, eyes glowing like molten gold, before walking away into the tall grass, disappearing beneath the endless blue sky. The plains were silent again. Only the wind and the warmth of the day remained, but Daniel knew what had happened was real. Somewhere out there, the king of the savannah still remembered him. We share this planet, not as owners, but as neighbors. Every breath we take is borrowed from the forests. Every drop of water, every hum of life, every flutter of wings, a reminder that we are part of something far bigger than ourselves. Once, we lived in harmony with the wild, watching, listening, learning. We found wisdom in the flight of birds, strength in the rhythm of the waves, and balance in the stillness of the trees. But somewhere along the way, we forgot. We built walls of concrete and noise, forgetting that when the wild fades, so does a piece of our humanity. Yet hope still breathes, in the eyes of a rescued animal, in the forests we choose to protect, in the children who still dream of walking among lions, whales, and eagles. Each act of kindness to nature is a promise to our future. Every tree we plant, every species we defend is a step toward remembering who we truly are. Because we are not apart from nature, we are a part of nature. One earth, one heartbeat.